Keep hammering on these guys. This idea of calling them out for who they are, shrink them. Is he a danger to society? Yes.
No.
Is he a danger to women's health? Yes. Is he a danger to world peace? Yes.
That dumbfounds me. Is he a danger to world peace? And this guy says yes. It's like they don't know what happened when he was president. When he was president, there was no wars. Israel wasn't at war. Russia wasn't at war. Nobody was at war. Everybody was at peace. Peace treaties left and right. Hey, what's going on, my American-loving friends? Ryan here. Welcome to the channel. If you would, give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. What we have here is Kamala's VP pig, her running mate pig, Tim Walz. The title of this, Walz Liberal Utopia is Every American's Worst Nightmare. Let's check it out and get it.
Karoline Leavitt, National Press Secretary for the Trump team. Karoline, good morning to you and welcome to our program. I've seen a number of statements come out from the RNC. The Trump campaign's reaction on this election is what?
Well, choosing a running mate is Kamala Harris's first big decision as the Democrat Party's nominee. And with this decision, choosing Tim Walz, she has proven just how dangerously liberal she is. Tim Walz is one of the most far-left governors in America. Much like Kamala Harris, he supports wide-open borders. He supports sanctuary cities. In Minnesota, he signed a bill giving licenses to illegal immigrants. Tim Walz, like Kamala Harris, is soft on crime. He also
Giving licenses to illegal immigrants. If you disagree with that, give this video a like.
Supports the Defund the Police movement. In fact, in Minnesota, violent crime has increased by 21% since he has been governor. And like Kamala Harris, Tim Walz is anti-American energy. He signed a bill to ban carbon-based fuels in Minnesota by 2040. That is a threat to our national security.
Let me ask you something. If you live, like, let's say you're living in your home, of course, and let's say that you could actually live there without having to pay utilities. Like, utilities are free every month. Would you like that? I know I would. If I could live in my house free of utilities, but, you know, I have all my utilities on, but I don't have to pay for it. I'd really, really enjoy that. Basically, that's what this is with America. Right now in America, we're relying on people to produce energy for us. If we were to not rely on these other countries, we could drill and use our own energy. So basically, it's the same difference. It's like America's our house. And if we have our own energy that we produce, we don't have to rely on paying our utilities, so to speak, to other countries. That's the whole point with this drill baby drill. And I fully 100% agree with that.
That is a gift to China. If Americans want to know what a Harris-Walz America would look like, look at the streets of Minneapolis in the summer of 2020 when they were literally burned to the ground. Look at the streets of San Francisco. Their liberal utopia is every American's worst nightmare, and we'll spend the next...
It would become a hell. It wouldn't be a utopia. It would become a hell.
Next 92 days, ensuring every American knows how radical the Harris-Walz ticket is.
Caroline, Governor Walz has not shied away from directly attacking the Trump Vance ticket.
Look at this. Look at this. 2020 Minneapolis riots caused $500 million in damage.
Here he is in another network less than 2 weeks ago.
Walz
Actually,
took
less
days
than a week
to call
ago.
in military during
taking
riots.
a direct hit. Listen.
Keep hammering on these guys. This idea of calling them out for who they are, shrink them. Is he a danger to society? Yes.
No.
Is he a danger to women's health? Yes. Is he a danger to world peace? Yes.
That dumbfounds me. Is he a danger to world peace? And this guy says yes. It's like they don't know what happened when he was president. When he was president, there was no wars. Israel wasn't at war. Russia wasn't at war. Nobody was at war. Everybody was at peace. Peace treaties left and right. They even recognized him as a political figure that holds peace. You know, he possibly could have got the Nobel Peace Prize. He was recommended for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I doubt anybody knows that. These guys spit lies. There was no war. Listen to me carefully. I know some people just scan over videos, listen to what they want to listen. Listen to me carefully. When Donald Trump was president, there was no wars. There were no wars. Russia was not at war. Israel was not at war. Nobody on earth was at war.
A danger to society.
I think the real danger to society, the real threats to democracy are Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, again, who support defunding the police. I heard a threat to women's health. As a woman, I think there's no greater threat to our health than leaders who support gender transition surgeries for young minors, who support putting tampons in men's bathrooms in public schools. Those are radical policies that Tim Walz supports. He actually signed a bill to do that. He supports men in women's sports. That's a real threat to women and girls across this country. These people are radical. And again, we will make sure every American understands just how radical they are. And the people of Minnesota understand how radical of a governor Tim Walz has become. That's why it's a longtime blue state, but we're going on offense in that state. And it is now in play for President Trump. We've opened 8 offices there. We're going to continue to campaign in Minnesota because his own constituents realize how much of a failure he's been, and we'll make sure the rest of the country understands that as well.
Trump was there in St. Cloud about a week ago, I do believe. Good crowd, 90-degree weather. I do believe he had about 10,000 inside, and the campaign suggests he had at least 10,000 more outside. You're about 60 miles northwest of Minneapolis. So we'll see whether or not you're right. Kamala Harris, a moment ago on X, here it is. I'm proud to announce, she writes, that I've asked Tim Walz to be my running mate. As a governor, a coach, a teacher, and a veteran, he's delivered for working families like his. It's great to have him on the team. Now let's get to work. She calls him a battle-tested leader. Your reaction?
Well, neither Kamala Harris nor Tim Walz have done anything for working families. Kamala Harris has 100% supported Bidenomics, which she is now trying to run away from, which we know created the worst inflation crisis in a generation. Kamala Harris is the border czar. She's allowed a mass invasion of more than 11 million illegal people that we know of. Just yesterday, we learned during Kamala Harris's tenure as border czar, there's been 99 known terrorists that have entered our country. Border Patrol, they were flagged as terrorists, and the Biden-Harris administration still allowed them to enter this country. So Kamala Harris needs to answer for her record, by the way. It's been more than 2 weeks since she's become the appointed Dem Party nominee. She has not sat down for an interview. Her campaign website does not include any policy plans, and she refuses to commit to a debate on this network with President Trump because she's trying to run from her record. But again, this vice presidential pick with Tim Walz as her running mate makes them the most.
Kamala's not going to debate him on Fox, but, Trump debated Biden, CNN. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. He's walked into the flames. He's had people ask him questions. Kamala don't do that. And if you go to her site right now, you go to look at her policies, you don't see any policies at all. I mean, you gotta throw out policies for people to understand where you're at. Don't throw out rhetoric, throw out policies.
far left ticket in American history. They would be a danger to America. If we have 4 years of this, America as we know her, as we love her, will literally cease to exist. Both of them need to sit down and answer tough questions to the press about their dangerously liberal records that have left chaos and destruction in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, in San Francisco, in California, where they both hail from.
Karoline, real quick before we let you go, does the Trump-Vance campaign believe that Governor of Pennsylvania Josh Shapiro would have been a more formidable opponent, that he would have been a better pick for the Harris ticket?
No, we were ready to respond to anyone that Kamala Harris chose as her vice presidential running mate. The reality is the Democrat Party has moved so far left, it's unrecognizable these days. But I think Kamala Harris not choosing Josh Shapiro does prove President Trump's point that the Democrat Party, unfortunately, has become the party of anti-Semitism. They've become the party of catering to the far left demands of Hamas sympathizers in this country. And that's probably why she didn't choose Josh Shapiro. But again, you're going to have to ask her that if she ever sits down for an interview.
Karoline, thank you.
They sympathize with Hamas protesters, whereas Hamas is a terrorist organization. This is ridiculous. If you are for Kamala, there's something wrong with you mentally, for real. After all that, how can you support somebody like that? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. People's like, how can you support Trump? I mean, he closed the borders off with a wall. He didn't have sanctuary cities. He didn't support defund the police. He didn't give licenses to illegal aliens. If anything, he wanted them to stay in their country, He didn't sign a bill to put tampons in men's bathrooms in public school. In any democratic city, there's crime. There's people moving out of California by the thousands. They're moving out of California. It's a democratic ran state, and those are getting ran down, big time. They're getting ran down. Republican states, for instance, South Carolina, man, they are making money over there. That's a Republican-ran state. Any Republican, do your research. Go look at Democrat-ran states versus Republican-ran states, and see what you find. So, I guess what we can take back from that, Kamala Harris, she has brought Tim Walz on board, since though both their agendas line up. So I'm going to go over the agendas that Tim Walz has, or what he supported and the bills that he signed. Okay, he supports wide open borders, as we all know Kamala Harris does too. And if you don't think so, you're dumb. Okay. He supports defund the police, just like Kamala Harris. He supports sanctuary cities, just like Kamala Harris. He signed a bill that gives license to illegal immigrants. He signed a bill to put tampons in men's locker rooms. And the state that he was governing over had a crime rate that rose 21% when he became the governor, Minnesota. If you're voting for that, I don't know what to tell you. If she wins this election, it's going to be hell everywhere. It's going to be hell. But anyways, if you got any value out of this video, I ask that you give it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Y'all take care. Peace.